Hello and welcome to Hadley's Run, a Starship Saga. I'm gonna, I already did a video of the kind of arcade mode, but I'm gonna do some campaign mode because I feel like I really wanted to kind of show off both of the things. And it's not gonna be the entire campaign. Don't think that's gonna happen. Because honestly, I do feel that there's a lot of similarity. If you like the combat in the arcade mode, then the campaign is kind of just like this extra, that is like icing on the top. I don't know, strawberries and ice cream, or the whipped cream that's on a banana split. I think they put whipped cream on those. I don't actually know. I actually can't remember the last time I had a banana split. I kind of already did this part of the story, but it kind of, sets the stage. We're a dude, and our ship is kind of jacked up, and we've been given a job to go and take care of stuff. And then we got like a whole bunch of stuff in here and a space to get through. I find dashing is pretty cool to kind of get around unnecessarily quickly. I don't know that talking to all these people actually really has any major value. I will say, like I think it's a little bit ridiculous that I can essentially dash out of the screen. I wish the screen kind of was able to keep up with my shenanigans here. Alright, this is where we're going. Let's go. Start doing some stuff. Get rid of 6 small asteroids. I can do that. Alright, Major Ball for the techies. They're trying to create line of sight for signal transmissions to one of those Martian research institutes out here to blow up those rocks. Gotcha, buddy. I can do it, Mr. Operator or Miss Operator. I actually can't tell. And it is a traditional, like, twin stick shooter. Kind of like, I don't know, the half a billion games that have come out that are like that. It does it really well. Like, it's very responsive. The controls are nice and crisp. I am playing with a controller like it suggests. I think we got a pretty decent, what am I trying to say here? I think we have our pretty decent, combat once we actually get to an area that it's going to be combat. Right now it's just obviously asteroids, which might seem like a little less exciting, but I think it's a good introduction to the game. You want me to deliver some stuff? I can deliver some stuff. I'm also a delivery driver of sorts. So the space junk is stuff that we get to use to kind of like upgrade our ship in various ways. Apparently my normal gun, it's not strong enough for this. It's kind of a disappointment. I would have expected like bullets or, other bullets. Because a bullet should do good no matter what. Interesting. We have some AI robots coming. Dreadmech. Oh, alright. I'm hurrying to get here as soon as I can. I feel like I got here too late. Hopefully they all escaped. Oh, yeah, they got out of here. They did it. Let's see, sent the coordinates and intercepted delivery. Okay. Alright. Okay, well now they're attacking me, so I mean, like, thanks, lady. Why am I even, like, you know, fighting them? You would expect it would just be like in a situation that you wanted to escape from. So I would like to point out that I was offered a key for the game by the developers, but they've been pretty cool to me, like, quite often, so I said no. And then I bought the game. I also bought the soundtrack because I really like the soundtrack. I feel like it's kind of unique. Alright, where's this portal lady? I'm pretty sure. Okay, well maybe there are too many of them. Just barely. I hope that, you know, whoever's watching this has had, like, an acceptable week. My week has been just a total crapshoot, so I'm, like, I meant to play this on, like, Monday, like, when it came out. I don't even know if it was this week or last week when the game came out. Like, my brain's, like, mush, basically. But I was gonna play it, but my week has been so busy, and I haven't slept, and I had a sick cat. Then I had to do some labs, and I'm like stressed out waiting on my x-rays because I don't know if they're gonna come back and say, hey, we found something pretty bad. You know, I don't know that, you know, I don't want to say that that's gonna happen, but there's a little bit of a concern there, so I have to kind of, yeah, I'll just wait and see, I guess. Should get the results in a couple of days, though. Alright, red button. Oh, that was easy. Oh, look at that. We've made friends. Thanks, buddy. I'm glad that you and I are best friends now. Equip weapons. Let's see. We got to defeat the question mark. 2,500 enemies. Yeah, everything is basically what we can do with it. I lost all my space junk? Really? That's kind of unfortunate. Alright, so it looks like we're down here at the bottom, and the goal is probably to go up that little weird, whatever it is up there. I always forget there's like other things to go look at. Ah, well, we'll be back eventually. Of course the robot people have found us. Why wouldn't they? Ooh, I heard there, well, I didn't hear, like, I saw the trailer on YouTube, but there's a new Terminator show on Netflix. I haven't watched it, it's like an anime. As a huge fan of Terminator, I really want to give it a shot, but I think I'm kind of waiting. I have some surgery next week that's going to kind of put me out of commission for a few days, and I'll probably use that time to just kind of watch stuff. I don't know how much gameplay I'll be able to do next week. I'm hoping that I can still play stuff. It's like it's nothing major, it's just like a sinus surgery. There's like a tiny chance that it could kill me, and a surprisingly smaller chance that it could blind me. It's kind of weird that they present it in such a way. You know, like there's like a 2% chance that that they blind you, and then there's a 0.2% chance that they blind you. It's just kind of weird, like to look at it that way. Anyway, my brain's all over the place, and I tend to ramble on. It's like a thing I do. But it's like my sincere playstyle. Just babble on nonsensically? Is that like a word? It's the word I'm gonna use, but I just kind of babble on about whatever's on my mind, and then, you know, typically something in the game makes me think of something, and then I usually compare it to something that is very incorrect. Because, like, I don't know, like, I will remember stuff, and I can't think of what it is that I'm thinking of. Or, you know, I just choose the wrong game. Like, for example, like, have you ever played Space Rangers? This game has a little bit of a feeling there to it, because we've got, you know, the top-down space magic happen. And when I say magic, I don't mean, like, fantasy magic. I just mean that we put a whole bunch of things together, or they, not we, but they put a whole bunch of things together that are really cool, that have basically made a pretty enjoyable experience. Oh, I really like that song. I hope it carries over to the next level. Oh, good, it is. I'm really glad that I bought the soundtrack to the game. I will say, like, the music for the game, when I initially started listening to it during the demo, I was like, you know, I like the music, but I don't know that it makes a lot of sense for a science fiction, you know, space game. Like, it seems just very different. But the more I listen to it, I've played like a nice little bit of the arcade mode. The more I listen to the music, the more it just kind of has grown on me, and I really like it. To the east. How do you determine which way is east in space? When I was a kid, I had dreams of making a two-dimensional space adventure, or space sim, essentially. It was like a big thing for me, because like I had seen games similar to it. And I was like, that would be so cool if I could do that. And I never did, obviously, because I just never really got into trying to make my own game. I thought about it, I wanted to try a couple of times. I gave up pretty early, not because I couldn't ever do anything of varying success. It just, I didn't really do a good job with backups, and some of the stuff I was working on was just pretty much lost, essentially, very easily, and I just said, you know, obviously it's not for me, and I've just never made an attempt again. I always think about maybe doing it again just because it's, you you know, I don't want to say it's like a lifelong dream. Like, it's not so much making a game. I always wanted to be involved in the game industry in some manner. You know, and I was in the military for freaking ever, and then I retired, and you know, I chose to like use my time specifically in just like playing games and making videos. And it's been like a great opportunity to meet tons of independent developers, even some like bigger developers that I guess fall within the AAA industry or the AA. If I said quadruple A, we'd all know what we're talking about. You know, maybe potentially Ubisoft. I know a couple people in there. And you know, for the most part, like everybody I've met, it's been like completely awesome. Got my name and a couple of credits for some QA purposes, or just like some thank yous, which is also super cool. So I mean, I would say, like you know, at least to like a minor extent, I achieved my lifelong dream from childhood of being involved in the game industry. I mean, heck, here I am now, playing this game, having a good time, talking to people, and other people will see this, and then potentially they'll then go buy the game, and I'll be just, you know, very happy about that. I mean, I personally get nothing out of it if you buy the game. There's no reward for me, there's nothing like that. The only thing that it does for me is it just kind of gives me that sense that I've done something positive and helped convince people that a game is fun. And, you know, then they went and threw money at it, and they get to have fun. I just... Ultimately, that's my kind of goal. I just want people to play games and have a good time, and just, you know, appreciate the different stuff that they can play and see. There's so much variety out there, and I know, like, from an indie game developer aspect, it can be so difficult to get your game noticed by anyone. I mean, like, it's just, they don't have the budget that a lot of places do. Nobody's paying, like, several $100,000 to show off their game at Gamescom, or, you know, the Game Awards, or literally any of these things that require you to pay an absolute crazy amount of money because maybe that's going to, you know, result in a wish list or a sale. I think it's kind of insane, actually. I wish I knew where that money was going. Because it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, who does that? Like, who's like, hey, here's a game that'll be lucky to potentially make $100,000 in sales, you know, over its lifetime. Let's charge them like a whole bunch of money, so that, you know, in order for people to watch them in our show. That's what we're gonna do. Oh, okay, so those lasers do hurt me. I didn't think they did. I thought they were just kind of there to protect me and give me awesome sauce, you know? Ooh, extra bullets? Extra bullets seems like a better choice as opposed to shields, on account of me being an excellent pilot. Alright, gonna kill 3 things. That's better than more. And this is more than 3. She cannot count. A little disappointed in her scientific capabilities. This is probably why, you know, she doesn't understand why her machine works. But while we blow up all these, you know, robot things to pieces and everything, I'd like to take a moment to just, like, say that the, you know, the depiction of space here is pretty nice. And I think space can be very difficult to make interesting and get right. I feel like the process of making this a game that basically puts you in these arena-like areas of space for combat, it works really, really well. Like, it works a lot better than you might think it would. And I think the reason it works so well is because the twin-stick combat, it just works really well as kind of a more arena-style fighter. You think of, like, Geometry Wars, yeah, Geometry Wars, that's, like, the only one I can think of. But you think of, like, games like Geometry Wars and how fast-paced they were and everything they did to try to, like, make, you know, whatever room you had really, it really kind of mattered. Like, I mean, if you weren't able to manage your space well and to stay alive, and you would die. So anyway, I think they do a really good job with it. I did really enjoy the way this works. That was unexpected. I would like to put my, yeah, those guys down. What is... Oh, come on. These guys are definitely gonna... Unfortunately, I think I'm gonna get kind of hosed here. Oh, maybe not. Oh, look at that. I pulled it off. Just barely. And then we're gonna get, like, sucked in somewhere, aren't we? Oh, maybe not. I need some health. Oh, space junk. Ooh, apply a caustic acid to your foes. That'll be cool. I didn't really get anything of value there. Kind of disappointed by what I got. Oh, thank you for the new technology. Alright, now, what are these little things? Oh, those give me more health. I specifically would prefer to have something that's, you know, I would like to restore my health before I go into the next location. I can't remember if we ever get, like, any of our little... I don't want to say upgrades, but... I don't know, what's the prayer to the chicken gun? Aw. Sweet. I'll gladly take the 41 health points, and the chicken god is just as real as any other version of, you know, God out there, I would imagine. I guess like it, he's a, force field generating bad dude. I can't believe that boss, like, just absolutely destroyed me. I mean, I think it's you know, it's my fault because I didn't realize he was gonna, like, launch himself into me. Which is kind of sad because I'm pretty sure that was the boss that was available in the demo, so I should have remembered. But my memory is kind of crap, so it's not as easy as it sounds to pull that off. Give me some health, dudes. Yeah, the bomb is nice. We'll take the bomb. So a lot of the stuff that you're seeing here, as far as like, you know, after you die, or not after you die, but after you finish a level and everything, you get like that roguelike kind of card system that allows us to have new stuff. That's essentially the same as the arcade mode. I would say, like, realistically, if you really, really wanted to, you could play the game entirely from the arcade mode and kind of get everything that you want from it. But I do also think that the story is, you know, it's pretty decent. Like, there's not a whole crazy amount going on, but the writing is pretty decent. The characters are interesting enough. I wish they felt like they mattered a little bit more. Like, they don't really feel that important in the grand scheme of things. And it may seem like I haven't been reading the things they say. I just read fairly quickly, and that's kind of what I've been doing. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those situations where we are running into people, but so far it just feels like I'm really just a dude in space that's pretty much alone in by all, you know, reasonable meanings of the word. Just the people I'm interacting with, you know, they just don't seem to have much of a purpose of existence other than to have a very slight interaction with me. And I don't know if it's gonna, like, change, really. I mean, maybe we'll start to get, like, a whole bunch more. Who knows? Great. A solar storm that will disrupt my weapons. Not really an ideal situation. But that's why I have space bombs. This is like a good point for me to make a shout out to Mines and Missiles, which was a game that was on itch.io. Very entertaining, by Butterboy Games. You know, and I know that like it's like one of those things. You know, do you really call out another game when you're making a video? Yeah, I do, because like I remember other things, and maybe somebody will see this and go somewhere else. Now here's a question that no one is probably going to ask, but there's another game that's like recently out right now that is pretty much you know, it's also in space. It's space inspired. It's a bigger game from, you know, Ubisoft, Star Wars Outlaws, and you might say, well, how is this in comparison to Star Wars Outlaws? Well, I will say that in compared to Star Wars Outlaws, you're going to spend a considerable amount of less money if you buy this game. There's not really a lot to compare them to because You know, Star Wars Outlaw is a 3D third-person shooter that focuses on stealth and has some space stuff. Whereas this game is obviously a 2D game that has a lot of space stuff. Now, I will say this, I actually enjoy the space combat here more than Star Wars Outlaws, and you might be like, what? How is that even possible? Well, it's because this is like fast-paced, the ship movement is really good. Like, I mean, I really feel like, you know, it's a situation where, you know, just so much is going on at a pace that I'm still somehow magically in control of everything. There's so many satisfying things that I have from the get-go. Like, I mean, I really dig the upgrade system. I've got the dash that's pretty cool. We got our force field. It's just everything kind of interacts in a really, really good way to make it a very positive experience. And that's something that I'm really appreciative of. I really like, you know, a situation like this where, you know, I can just kind of actually just focus on having fun. Everything works exactly as I want it to. The soundtrack is fantastic. I'm just, you know, really, really happy with my purchase here. Less so with Star Wars Outlaws. Not saying it's a terrible game, just saying that it hasn't been a game that I've been thoroughly enjoying. Whereas this is something that I've been enjoying from the moment I started playing. And that is something that is not lost on me. I feel like I should probably utilize my turrets more often. I don't really use them much, and I think it's just because there's like a cooldown for them. I don't know, I just... It's like when you play like a game that has health potions, and you don't drink the health potions because you think you might need the health potions, then you get to the final boss, and it turns out you don't need your health potions, because you've gotten really good at the game, and now you have 3,000 health potions in your inventory. It's kind of like that, you know, it's... I don't actually know how I was supposed to, How am I supposed to, activate this? I just have to be in there? I need those, like, square doodads, I guess. I watched a developer video, or I don't really know what you want to call it, but basically it was a video where the composer for the game was making tracks, and they were getting like really into the music they were making. I really found that, you know, pretty cool. I appreciate that. No, I got blown up. But I was gonna say I really appreciate that. You know, somebody takes such enjoyment into what they're making. Alright, so death is actually like, I mean, you could, if you're really good, I suppose, go through the entire thing without dying. But I find it to be a pretty important part of the game. I believe this is going to be what we need in order to, upgrade our ship with our stuff here. So basically dying means I'll be able to start, like, increasing some stuff that's going to be additionally good. This one is important. I would like to take this. don't really re-roll much. I don't really think I need to do that. I do like the idea of getting a better upgrade. And a repair bay would be nice. And... oh. I would like to do this, my dude. There we go. Alright, well, and then, I could buy this weapon. Maximum stacks 50. You know what? We're gonna take this, because I feel like that's a good idea. I don't know, maybe it's not, but I want to try it. But I like that we get to see kind of like how things went. This is where we went, and this is where we died. If we would have potentially gone somewhere else, we could have got some chicken stuff. So this would be harder. I don't actually want to do harder. Thank you. So nice. People in space are very nice. I'm gonna go from here. We'll just see how it goes. I don't know that I'm gonna want to use the caustic weapon, because I do prefer having kind of like long range. But at the same time, it is potentially going to be pretty useful with the ability to kind of, you know, injure people, or robots, I guess, and escape a little bit. So I'm gonna play up until like I die again. This is the general gameplay loop for the campaign. You know, you go through, you try to get as far as you can. If you die, you go back, you make those permanent upgrades for your ship, and you just kind of rinse and repeat. You keep doing it until you finish the game. That's the gist. I don't know how long it'll actually take me to finish it, so yeah, and I got some other things to cover as well, so I'm just, like I said, I'm gonna stop after I you know, get to wherever it is that we're gonna get. Base health increased. This could be potentially a good one. Now, you know what? I'm gonna do this one. I feel like it's at least somewhat beneficial to get like some new stuff. I don't know that I do enough damage to deal with like increased speed of enemies though. That's the only concern. I wish you could blow up the missiles. Like, I think it's kind of weird that we can't blow up the missiles. I don't know that I will stick with this caustic weapon. I prefer the kind of faster paced damage of our normal blaster. Like, it works, like, I mean, I shouldn't complain about it, but I think the lack of range and the kind of uncertainty of whether or not I'm going to be able to defeat them in a specific kind of encounter makes it a little bit less likely for me to kind of keep using it. More base health. Nah, I think we're good. Maybe the caustic cannon is starting to grow on me. No, it's not. Still not a fan. I think the next upgrade I'm going to do is going to be like the double dash. I feel like the double dash is kind of important to kind of get away quickly from all the shenanigans. The nice thing is, I feel like we make a lot of progress relatively quickly as far as like the little space junk that we get. I mean, I already have 212, you know, I was in basically very little. I had 600 something, which was pretty nice. I just need these guys to start dropping like a little bit more. They don't drop a ton of space junk, which is kind of weird. You would think that you would have like, I guess, more space junk from space. There's black holes, base health, and just, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, these like secondary paths that give you a little bit of an upgrade. I don't know. I don't really think they're that, I don't know, necessary, I guess. This is a pretty cool, like, variation of things. We get something that's not just a thing of, you know, combat. I don't think I'll be able to get all of the space junk floating around here. They mostly, you know, want to not die. Yeah, I was watching a thing about artificial intelligence. Basically some guys like, you know, we don't really have real artificial intelligence right now. What we have is like algorithmic learning, and I don't think the guy is actually wrong. Like, our idea of artificial intelligence We don't really have artificial intelligence in the grand scheme of, you think of like in most science fiction ways. Like the stuff that we have now can't make a decision organically. They don't get to be like, oh, you know what, I have a good idea, you know, I'm gonna do a thing. You know, they don't get to do that. It's unable to. It has to take something that it has already been programmed to do, or has been, you know, it's something on Google that they can find relatively quickly. Even like when you think of like some of like the music generation of songs, and as cool as it is to have a song be written for you by AI that comes across pretty cool and everything, it's all been, you know, based on somebody else's work. Like, it's not original. They didn't really kind of come up with it on their own. If you ask them to write some lyrics for a song, they might be able to do it, but it's not really like a song that they came up with. They didn't think of anything. Like, there's no thinking involved. It's just taking a bunch of words and, you know, cobbling them together at a tune or something like that. Now, it's not to say that we won't one day kind of get there, and I would like to think that we will. Yeah, we're not gonna get very far once again. Probably gonna have to really start kind of focusing on like health upgrades. But yeah, I think one day we'll get there where, like, you know, AI will actually, I guess, have AI, you know, like, they will, I guess, specifically, we'll have something that's able to do talking of sorts. It'll come up with its own ideas, it'll do, like, all kind of cool stuff. But maybe that's just me being hopeful. I mean, there's also, of course, the risk that if we did something like that, then we would then have, you know, a Skynet situation. Dang, I was hoping they were going to give me another weapon. Alright, volatile shielding. Sweet. Thank you so much for giving me something new. Come on, chicken god, give me something. Seriously? Okay, so I guess I wouldn't take the risk a lot of times? Alright, well, I guess we won't pray to the chicken god ever again. But we got these health things. That's actually good news. Like, and I know it's the general nature of a roguelike that when you die, you kind of have to go back and gonna start over again, but you know, you've got all the new weapons and upgrades, essentially. It's supposed to kind of help you out. So I do like that aspect, mostly, but at the same time, I'm not a huge fan of always having to kind of start back over, essentially, from scratch. I do wish that what we had was a slightly different mechanic, where perhaps instead of having to start all the way back, we have the option of kind of starting, like, after that first boss, you know? Like, it just, things have gone really bad. Again, I don't like this caustic gun. It's just not fitting my playstyle. It takes too long to really do stuff. Over time, it'll probably be one I kind of come back to, but I'm just gonna let these guys blow me up. And I'm going to end the video here. I feel like I've showed enough of the game to give you a general idea, and I realize I'm also just kind of spouting off all kind of ridiculous jargon and nonsense and whatnot, so... Alright, you can give me any kind of info. I'm just short of the extra charge. I feel like it might be important to do that. I don't really need to do the range for that, so that's... I'm not super happy with our choices, but... I mean, this cooldown seems like it would be a kind of a good one, but... I know. But anyway, there you go. That is Hadley's run, Starship Saga, in a nutshell. Again, it's just a kind of a look at the campaign. Quite enjoyable, really enjoying it so far. And, yeah, thanks for watching, and, you know, the link is in the description. I encourage you to check it out.